Kelly Lynch, and I'm the creator of the Unapology Project and this awesome program that I'm going to talk to you about today, Radical Expansion. But before we get into it and talking really about what radical expansion is, first, I want you to do one thing, and I want you to answer a question. So the thing that I want you to do is to really just sit with your body and pay attention to what it feels like. And by the end of this video, if you're feeling pulled towards saying yes because you're recognizing that maybe your heart rate has kicked up, you're feeling yourself leaning in a bit more, you're feeling like, oh God, I think this is the thing I've been looking for. I want you to pay attention to your body, wanting to say yes, and I want you to give yourself permission to say yes. But don't say yes to me. I want you to say yes to you. Maybe for the very first time. So pay attention to your body. Our bodies are incredible, incredible things. Our bodies give us information literally all the time, every day, that explains to us why our emotions feel the way that they do. Our bodies are a wealth of knowledge about what it is that we need as we move through the world. And we need to give our bodies credit for the information that it provides. So by the end of this video, like I said, if you are leaning in, if you are feeling yourself physically pulled to wanting to say yes, pay attention to that. Your body is communicating to you what feels right, and we need to listen to our instincts. It begins with our bodies. So that's what I want you to do. Then I have a question for you. And the question may be a little uncomfortable because usually when I ask this to all of my clients, it pretty much is. The question is, who are you? Now, chances are, if you're anything like me, the first time this question was asked to me, you would look at me and probably like, I don't know. If you're anything like me, with the first time that I got asked this question, maybe your answer is, I don't know and I feel lost. If you've tried other mindset programs or other programs to work on changing specific things in your life and it's failed, I know that's been my truth many years ago. Maybe it's because this question has not been effectively answered yet. Now, that's exactly what radical expansion was created for. When I think about the word radical, it literally means a complete overhaul, a complete transformation of one thing into another thing. When I think about expansion, the first thing that pops to my head is, what does it mean for me to rise to the next level of what my life has the possibility and the option of looking like? And what is it going to take for me to get there? I want, in the 5 weeks of what this program is, to give you the tools and the opportunity to make exactly that happen. Now, I am coming to you as a therapist with over a decade of experience, but also a life coach who's focused on action. And what do we need to do and to implement in order to make these things take place? Action is everything. And we need to to establish the action from a frame of understanding. So when we get into what expansion is, it means that we've established, this is what I'm operating at right now, and I no longer feel that that's acceptable. And now I'm ready for what's next. And in order to define and discover what's next, you have to know exactly who you are and what it is that you're capable of. And my friend, if you don't know the answer to the question, who are you, then I want to challenge you that you are in exactly the right place. These are things that I work on all the time with my clients. And I am so confident that I'm able to bring the correct information and give you the right tools so that you can figure out how to answer that question if you don't know how right now, and be able to rise and expand to that next level of your life and achieve everything that I know you are capable of. So let's talk about this program, right? I'm so excited about it because in week 1, we're going to talk about your story. We're going to talk about who you are and how you got to the place that you're in right now. Now, when I was going through a lot in my life, this was stuff that was absolutely unheard of for me. And the first time that somebody ever presented this information to me, it blew my mind. It was incredible because for the very first time I started to look at, well, why have I given so many other people permission to write my story for me? And what has the impact of that been on what my life had become? Now, I can tell you right now, the impact was destructive. I was stuck. I was stagnant. And I was miserable. So week 1 is all about uncovering this in your life and really understanding, why are you here in the first place? What is the story that you accepted somebody else writing for you? And what are you willing to do to trash it and start on your terms? And what are your terms? That's all part of it. So then as we move on into week 2, we start talking about ownership, we talk about perspective, and we talk about the power of choice. These are things that I cannot emphasize enough for how important they actually are. We spend so much time in our lives taking ownership of everything except the stuff that belongs to us. We try to take responsibility for all of the just nonsense that happens in everybody else's life and to fix it for them, or to please other people, or to rise to what other people say that we should be rising to. And why? Again, think about the impact that has on your life. What are you currently owning that isn't yours to own? How is that shaping what your perspective is? Again, if you're anything like me, when I was owning all the stuff that didn't belong to me, I felt like a failure. Have you ever felt that way? When I was owning all the stuff that didn't belong to me, I felt such shame for what my life had become. And the second that I figured out the key to being able to release that was inside of my mindset, my whole perspective shift. Everything changed. And I healed. So that's week 2. It's ownership, perspective, and the power of choice. You have to take responsibility for you. And I will challenge you every step of the way over the next 5 weeks to do exactly that. So in week 3, we start understanding and looking at the relationship that you have with yourself and how to continue to evolve it. Now, this week is really exciting to me because the idea of evolution, and it never stops. It's the coolest thing. And, some people may look at me like I'm a little weird when I say that, but this is the stuff that excites me the most. Because it gives us the opportunity to change things along the way that we no longer feel like serve us. The relationship that I have with myself now, 5 years after being divorced, is totally different than the relationship I have with myself 1 year after being divorced. As you go through a process of self-discovery and claiming the woman that you are capable of being, your relationship with yourself will also evolve. I cannot begin to tell you how exciting that is to me. So that's week 3. Then week 4, here we are, coming to the end. We get to talk about courage, bravery, and the difference between the two, because they're not the same. And then again, checking in on the relationship that you have with yourself. When we can move through the world understanding that there's a place for fear, there's a time for it, but to understand the purpose that fear serves and when courage and bravery need to take over instead of allowing fear to make our choices for us. The relationship that you have with yourself begins to become an incredibly empowered relationship because you start understanding really, in this week specifically, when we talk about courage and bravery, exactly what it is that you're capable of. As I began to step into my own recovery after going through major traumatic experiences in my life and understanding the role that courage and bravery played, I began to feel like there were no limits. And I want to invite you to the possibility that that can also exist for you. It's just a matter of claiming these words as your own, defining what you want them to look like, and then stepping into that. And I want to show you how. And lastly, week 5, here we are at the end. Week 5 is all about self-evaluation, checking in with yourself, and understanding what changes you've made over the course of the whole program and feeling good about it. Being able to accept that most authentic woman and really moving into her. You know, when we self-evaluate, I actually look at that as a really useful tool because that's our way to check in and say, is what I'm doing right now working for me the way that I actually want it to work? And every time I invite a client into the possibility of self-evaluation, there's always something else that they discover and say, you know what, I really like this part, but this part, not so much. And this is where we go back to the idea of evolution. Just change it. You have so much more power inside of you than you are even aware of in this moment. I know that because I see it all the time every day with my clients. I want to give you the opportunity to also be able to see it. So, my friends, that is the entire program. That is week 1 through 5. But that's not it. I'm not done there. I'm going to give you more things. So, also included in this program, so as we go through each week, you're going to get one weekly group call led by yours truly, where we talk about the theme of the week. And then you'll be in a private Facebook group, which is closed and secret. Only the people who have enrolled in the month that you are in will be allowed into that specific group. And each day I will come into the group to teach on one point that's specific to the theme of the week. To close out the week, on Fridays, you will get a group Q&A call, again, led by me, where you can come and ask me whatever it is that you need to ask me. And we are going to get laser focused onto how can you implement these changes. In addition, I'm also throwing in some bonuses. Everybody loves some bonuses. So here we go. So you're going to get one mastermind call with me, a one-on-one call, just you and me. This is a value of $9.97. And in this call, I am certain that we will be able for 1 hour to focus in exactly on what it is that you want to shift, and I will give you very specific tips and tools and strategies to be able to go and get working on that. That is a $9.97 value to you, and it's free, included in the cost of this program. Then, the second bonuses are 3 mastermind classes, one of which is going to be 2 days. So I have prepared for you a presentation on 3 specific topics, and I will give those to you in the first 3 weeks of this program. And then the final 2 weeks of this program, we will spend just really sitting with the information that you've already gotten and making sure that you're getting the changes in that you're wanting to make. Guys, nobody does this in this way. This is a mindset program that when I was going through my divorce and recovering from trauma, if I had it, I would have jumped on this in a heartbeat. If you're anything like me, I know that you're searching for a place and that maybe you've tried other programs and you haven't gotten out of it what you've needed. I did that too. That's why I created Radical Expansion, because it is only on mindset. And once you shift your mindset, everything else falls into place. I feel it in my life all the time. And I want to give you the gift of being able to do that in your life too. So, I'm at the end here. And I want you to drop back into your body and really pay attention to how it's feeling right now. If you are feeling pulled to this, if your body is saying everything that you know is yes, click that button and apply. Give this gift to yourself. Invest in yourself for all the right reasons. And I will see you inside. Bye.